Welcome to Founders in Flow, the podcast where two seasoned entrepreneurs, Neil and Ijlal, dive into real conversations about what it takes to build, grow, and scale an online business. Let's get into the flow.
Welcome back to Founders in Flow, everyone. I'm your host, Neil Napier. Today we have a fascinating episode lined up for you. We're diving into the nitty-gritty of making $12,000 from ads. And to help unpack this topic, I brought in someone who knows a thing or two about growing businesses. Please welcome Ijlal Ahmed. Ijlal, it's great to have you here. How are you doing?
Hey Neil, thanks for having me. I'm doing great, excited to be here and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of ad campaigns. It's always a pleasure to dive deep into these topics with you.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this chat. Last time, we touched on scaling businesses without the burnout, and it got quite the response. Today, let's get into the weeds about ads and how you managed to turn a $6,027 ad spend into $12,000. EJ Lal, what was the first spark that led you to consider this ad strategy?
Great question, Neil. It always starts with identifying a clear goal. For this campaign, we wanted to test a specific marketing message and see if it resonated with our target audience. We often hear about these amazing ad results, so I wanted to see quite transparently what we could achieve within a set budget. And of course, to measure our effectiveness, we aimed for at least a 2x return on ad spend, which we did manage to hit.
It's always that transparency and willingness to test that pays off, isn't it? Speaking of transparency, share with us some of the challenges you faced during this campaign. Often people hear about such results and think it's easy money.
Oh, absolutely. It was far from easy. We had several iterations on our ads, and at first the results were underwhelming. That was when we had to dig into data analytics, adjust our targeting, streamline our ad creatives, and A/B test different ad copies. We even made sure to double down on what's working while cutting out the ad sets that underperformed.
Iterating seems to be a constant theme in your work. It's commendable how you're willing to pivot and adapt. Did you face any widespread misconceptions about launching effective ad campaigns during this process?
Yes, indeed. Many folks have this notion that once you've discovered a formula, it just replicates the success every other time. That's often not the case. Market dynamics change. Audience priorities shift. Succeeding with ads is about keeping an ear to the ground, constantly exploring insights and acting on them. It's about starting small, validating the approach, and then scaling up.
That's very insightful, Ijlal. It reminds me of the importance of mindset in entrepreneurship. Just like going to the gym, consistency beats intensity. You mentioned starting small. How did you balance between risk and reward when allocating your initial budget?
That's a crucial point, Neil. We approached it methodically. We set aside a budget that wouldn't break the bank, but would allow us to test adequately. We used roughly 20% of the total budget to test the water, gather data, and identify successful ad formats. Then, scaling the budget intended for the successful ad sets to get the maximum return. It's about experimentation and patience.
Patience and experimentation, two words I think every entrepreneur should take to heart. Now, let's delve deeper into the results. After hitting the 2x return on ad spend, what was your key takeaway from this entire experience?
Each campaign, whether it's a win or a loss, teaches something invaluable. From this one, what stood out was the immense value of audience feedback and engagement. Consistently engaging with the target audience led to more refined messages and a better understanding of their needs. I also learned the importance of decisive action. Ad sets that didn't perform were swiftly deactivated, freeing up resources to focus on winners, maximizing efficiency.
Quick break from today's episode, but this is really exciting. If you've been enjoying this podcast so far, here's a little secret. We didn't write or speak a single word of it ourselves. Every episode of Founders in Flow is created using a tool we're building called PodGorilla, and it's about to change the way podcasts are made. PodGorilla lets you generate an entire podcast episode, from the topic to the script to the voiceover, using nothing but AI. You can pull inspiration from YouTube videos, PDFs, or even just drop in your own ideas. Then it gives you a complete, ready to publish audio episode in your voice. All you need to do is hit generate and let the tool do the work. And right now, we're opening up early access. If you want to be one of the first people to try PodGorilla before anyone else and see how we're using it behind the scenes, just head over to podgorilla.co and join the waitlist. That's podgorilla.co. The future of podcasting is just one click away. Now, back to the episode.
Strong action breeds strong results. But I'm curious, how do you see these learnings applied to future campaigns? Do you have any plans lined up?
For sure. The plan is to leverage these insights and execute even more targeted campaigns. We're focusing more on seasonal trends and emerging markets to stay ahead. We'll continue optimizing for conversions by employing more advanced audience segmentation techniques. And as always, embracing automation tools to streamline the process will be key.
Automation and segmentation, definitely the way forward. Linking back to last episode's discussion, sustainable growth is not just about scaling fast, but also scaling smart. It seems you've mastered that balance.
It's a continuous learning curve, Neil, figuring out the right balance between process and passion. Every entrepreneur has their journey, and I've found that sharing my experiences honestly, like with the ad outcomes, helps create a community where real growth happens among all of us.
Creating a transparent community is so valuable. I hope those listening feel inspired to share their entrepreneurial journeys too. Ejlal, what advice would you give listeners who might just be starting their ad journeys?
Start with the basics. Understand your audience deeply. Truly listening to them, even engaging in conversations where possible, can unveil valuable insights. And don't rush to spend. Test your hypotheses with smaller budgets, optimize as you go, and scale intelligently.
Fantastic advice, Ejlal. Starting small and scaling up logically is a sound strategy. Before we wrap up, any parting words or other insights you wish to share?
Just a reminder to stay curious and to not get discouraged by the results not going as planned. Each setback is a setup for a bounce back. Be patient with the process and enjoy the journey. That's what fuels continuing growth.
Words of wisdom indeed. Thank you for those, Ejlal. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Founders in Flow. Thanks to everyone listening. Feel free to share your thoughts and questions from today or any topic you'd like us to explore. Until next time, keep innovating.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Founders in Flow with Neil and Ijlal. If you found value in today's conversation, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We drop new insights regularly, all focused on helping you grow faster, market smarter, and make more money online. Until next time, stay consistent, keep learning, and keep building.